try.
Thank you so much for Mark. Thank you so much for. I almost said dinner. That's all. Thank you so much for lunch.
So, how's your summer going?
Well, I feel like I'm having a lot of fun. Like I have a lot of free time actually because like most of the internship is remote, and a lot of it's just like going around to explore Korea, which has been I think like the biggest blessing out of this internship. But it's been really fun.
Let's rewind. Well, actually, let's do a little too.
Well, I know that you've been in Korea for a while, so I'm just curious, like, when did you move here? Like, why did you move here?
I moved here quite a while ago, almost like 13 years ago. Originally, I just wanted to live in another country. I grew up in the U.S. and I'd done some traveling around the world, and it was kind of difficult to imagine myself just like in a normal career in the U.S. And so I came to Korea originally just to spend a year here and see what it was like living in another country. And I loved it, and I have stayed since then. Tell me about where you're from and like what got you here to Korea.
I just ate a really hot tofu. Oh my gosh, my tears. Okay, wait, can you ask me the question again?
Mouthful food.
Yeah, well, I'm actually Taiwanese, but my parents immigrated to Argentina when they were in high school, and then we immigrated to the U.S. again when I was in high school. So a lot of history of immigration in the family. But I think it was just like we're just keeping on like searching for better opportunities in life. And I think because I didn't grow up in Asia, but hearing my parents talk about Asia so much, I was just like, wow, like I just really want to live there someday. I just really want to try it out. And so Korea came out as a chance, and I love Kpop, so obviously I had to come to Korea for the summer to intern. And
So you mentioned K-pop. What's your favorite group or singer?
well, I started liking Super Junior actually. Super Junior was the very first band to come to Argentina, and I think at that moment I thought it was so cool, like just being able to see Asians being represented on stage. I was like, wow, like I never knew K-pop was such a cool thing, or I never knew that Asians could be cool. And so I remember just crying in the concert. I was only 13 or 12, but I just remember feeling so emotional because in Argentina there's no Asians at all, and so just seeing like representation on stage, I was like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. So.
And then you mentioned Korean food. So what's been, I guess the most
닭갈비, I didn't know that was a thing. And I tried it a couple of days ago. I was like, oh my gosh.
Okay.
Like you have everything in the pot, and then you can even put rice after, and then you just, oh, so good. How about you? What has been your favorite Korean dish so far?
Oh, there's too many.
Really?
Yeah, it's I guess now kind of I have like sort of seasonal stuff. So now that we're into the summer, like having a hot meal followed by cold noodles is something I kind of dig in the summertime.
Like naengmyeon,
Naengmyeon, yeah.
bibimbap.
Naengmyeon, naengmyeon.
Well, I feel like the food today got delivered really fast, and I know you said that you came to Korea a couple of years ago, so I'm just curious, like, how has the food delivery industry changed over the last couple of years? Because COVID obviously made everyone like have no other choice but get food delivered, right?
Well, I mean, it's changed so much. When I first moved here, there was maybe 3 or 4 options that you had for delivery. So there was like your local Korean Chinese place, and typically that would have been like a call service. So typically those are kind of like mom and pop style. So mom was in the kitchen or dad is in the kitchen, and then somebody's on the bike, and then you service just your immediate neighborhood. So
very local.
Very local. Everything was hyper local. That was how everything kind of worked out. Really, that was it. It was Chinese, it was chicken, and it was pizza, and that.
But it was all call in.
And that was all call service.
So right? No Uber Eats, no Food Panda, no Shuttle delivery.
when we started, I mean, that like predated all of that. And so one of the things that like we set out to do in Seoul and in central Seoul, specifically around Yongsan where we started, was there were so many great international restaurants, but none of them had a delivery service. And so that was kind of our vision, was to bring all this international food and like let people get it, you know, anytime they wanted. How's the curry?
It's really good. I'm actually surprised that they put a lot of like things in it, like a lot of veggies, and it's not spicy, which is great because I cannot handle spice. How was your wrap?
Really good.
Is this your first time having plant?
No, this is kind of one of my go-tos in the neighborhood when I want something healthy.
Yeah, I think I've struggled a lot with like finding healthy options here, because I've just been eating like whatever in Korea and everything. I'm curious, do you know any K-pop idols personally?
Personally, I mean, I've met a lot of different K-popers over the years. As my business partners often joke with me, I've lived many different lives.
Okay.
And before I started Shuttle, I used to do the educational broadcasting. And so I worked on Korean TV and radio for
like
a
as
number
a
of years.
behind the scenes person.
No, like I was on different
So you're a
shows,
celebrity
different
yourself.
broadcasts.
Okay, I see.
Well, I've been on Netflix.
Wait, actually.
Yes.
What? Wait, I want to watch it now.
Really?
Yeah.
Me and all the other partners were on a Netflix show.
Like a eating show?
A Korean show, also.
Oh. Okay, well send me the link.
Yeah.
Video and description.
So what about you? Did you rub elbows with any K-popers this summer?
I've been going to concerts. There's a lot of concerts in Korea, and I didn't realize the concerts here are like longer, and then they like idols talk for a really long time because it's like a domestic concert. But it has been really fun, and I feel like there's a lot of free shows that are going around. You just have to like keep an eye out. I've seen some K-pop idols, just like maybe they're like this big when I see them, because they're kind of far from me.
You're just like,
I love you. I'm like, look here.
over here, Chungyo. So what was the most surprising part overall about the summer for you, or just your time in Korea?
Most surprising thing? Well, I think the most surprising thing is that I think older Korean people come up to you and they're very direct. Sometimes they're very nice, sometimes they're not nice. But a lot of ajumas, like old Korean ladies, will come up to me and be like, "You're so pretty," or like "너무 예쁘네." Like they go like that, and it makes me. It's like a ego boost throughout the day, and then they do that very often.
Yeah.
And sometimes, a lot of times, they ask you like, "Oh, are you Korean or not?" And when I'm like, "No, I'm not," they're like, "Oh, okay," and they just walk away. But it's really nice to hear that once in a while.
Nice.
When they're nice.
Yeah.
But when they're not nice, they'll be like, "Get out of my way," and you're like, "Oh."
Sometimes they're not nice in their comments.
Yeah,
So-
they're very direct. I think
Yes.
that's been really shocking.
I think culturally for Koreans, it's not uncomfortable to sort of comment on your appearance. So I don't know if you've heard this one, but Koreans commonly talk about your head size.
Your head size? Why?
I don't know. It's I think an issue for Korean people, and they're very self-conscious about
Their heads.
About their heads.
Like how big it is.
Yeah,
like,
particularly.
is it better if it's big?
No, it's not good.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, but usually they for me, they always comment on. They're like, sometimes they'll put their hand to your face and they'll be like, "Oh, head size is very small."
Which is good.
Well, it's good, but
because you are a celebrity.
The first few times I heard it, I was like, "Is that good?" Like nobody's ever commented on my head size before.
That is
that
very
a good
specific.
thing? Maybe that's good, but maybe it's like not good either. Like, why is your head so small?
That is very interesting. This is very specific.
Yeah. So what are you gonna do the rest of this summer?
I am planning on going to Jeju and Busan because I heard that they're like must-go places in Korea. So looking forward to that. Looking forward to taking a lot of Instagram pictures and just having fun. Yeah.
What have you got planned for Jeju?
I have not made my research yet, but a lot of beach, obviously. I heard that Jeju is like the cure island, right? Like it's like famous for its like tangerines. So looking forward to just like being in touch with
I
nature.
didn't know if you were making a pun there, like a bad pun.
No, that was not a pun.
Because you were trying to say like you/cool.
Oh.
You were like
You.
I was like, that is a dad level pun. Like,
Let's say yes. That was the intent.
Yes, tangerines. Cute.
Yes, tangerines.
Yeah, I got you now.
It's very cool.
Very cute place to go.
Thank you so much for lunch, Mark. I think it was a really good time getting to know you more, like about your experience with Kpop idols.
Well, thank you so much for joining us for the summer internship. I hope you had a good experience and you got some skills that you can learn and take back to the U.S. And then maybe we'll see you in Asia again in the future.